I'm Mrs. Charles, back again with science, Wired for Science and I Spy for Science. Today we're playing with bubbles, and it's going to be really fun. To make the bubble inside a bubble solution, you need water, sugar, a pair of scissors, a pipette, or if you don't have that, a straw, a measuring cup, a cup, a tablespoon, Dawn dishwashing detergent, and paper towels for cleanup. That'll be really important. Okay, to make a bubble within a bubble. First we add 1 tablespoon of sugar to the glass, 2 tablespoons of Dawn. We got 1 there, and then 2. And then you add 8 ounces of warm water, which is a cup, into your glass. And then gently stir until your sugar dissolves. The sugar needs to be completely dissolved in the soap solution. If you let the solution sit covered with plastic wrap for 24 hours, the bubble solution will strengthen. But you can do this activity right away. All right, use your scissors to cut off about 1/2 inch of the pipette. Or if you don't have a pipette, you can use a straw. I found using a skinny straw worked better than a fat straw. Make sure you use a very clean work surface, like a kitchen counter if it's smooth. Smoothness makes better bubbles. Use your fingers to spread some of the bubble solution in an 8 to 10 circle on your work surface. I'm going to pour some on the table. Oops. Make a circle. I like it kind of wet. And this is a real mess. That's why you need paper towels. Now, dip your pipette into your bubble solution and then blow. You want to blow a large bubble and blow very slowly and watch it grow. You're going to play around with this a lot because you'll have to see what works for you. Notice how I got 2 bubbles there? It's eventually going to pop. Now I'm going to put my pipette back into the water, put it right inside the bubble, and blow again. I've made 2, now I'm going to try for 3. Oops, it popped a little, but I still have a double bubble here. Sometimes you get multiple bubbles like that. Let's see if we can get... Now I'm going to dip it again. Always dip it, otherwise it won't work. All right, ready? Start over again. Now there's 2 inside there, and now I'll try for 3. There's 2. When I tried it earlier, I was able to get 3 separate bubbles. Now I know if you practice more and more, you could probably end up getting even more than that. But take your time blowing and always blow a new bubble inside the smallest bubble. As you blow, watch how the outer bubbles change. Think about how each bubble has to trap the air inside it with a new bubble that you blow. me do one more, see if I can get. There's two. I have a double bubble inside of a bubble. That's probably as good as we're going to get today. But you try it and see what you can do. So, how does the bubble inside a bubble work? Regular bubbles burst when they come in contact with just about anything. A bubble's worst enemies are oil, dirt, and gravity. A sugar bubble, which we're making, will last a long time on a surface if there's no oil or dirt that would dissolve the soap film. And if you don't cover the pipette or straw with bubble solution, it will pop. Try using a dry pipette and you'll see. The soap and the sugar help make the solution become more elastic, allowing it to expand. When you blow a bubble inside a bubble, you probably notice the outer bubble expands a little. The air you blow into the pipette or straw creates an inner bubble, and it forces the outer bubble to expand to fit the inner bubble. To make the bouncing bubble solution, you need water, a cup, sugar, Dawn dish soap. I have a microfiber cloth, or you can experiment with various gloves that you have at home, and a teaspoon for measuring. We also need a wand, which I made myself out of some wire. Okay, now we're starting our bouncing bubbles experiment. First, take 4 tablespoons of sugar and put them in your glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then measure 2 tablespoons of Dawn into your cup. 1, and 2. Then you're carefully going to put 8 tablespoons of warm water into the cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, mix all these ingredients together, stirring until the sugar dissolves. That means you won't see any of the sugar on the bottom. I'm just going to stir it a little bit more. I don't see any sugar, so I think we're about ready. Use your wand and blow your bubbles. Blowing gently is best. Let a bubble land gently on the fabric on your hand and try some bubble bouncing, but do it very slowly. The bubbles will pop if you hit them like a ball. Now, some fabrics work and some don't, so experiment and try different kinds of fabrics and try different gloves that you have at home. If your fabric works well but gets too wet and sticky, you might need to wash it and dry it. Now, when you're done, you can cover this solution tightly if you want to reuse it on another day, and it'll work just fine. Okay, here we go. I'm going to blow bubbles. See if I can... Oh, isn't that awesome? Let's do it again. Oops. Oh, it worked really well. Have a lot of fun doing this one. So, how do the bubbles bounce? Remember from the bubble inside a bubble that oil or dirt will dissolve or pop the bubble? A bubble is a pocket of air surrounded by a thin layer of liquid. Well, the oil on your hands is enough to pop the thin layer of liquid, which is the surface of the bubble. Another way to say that is the oil on your hands breaks the surface tension of the liquid layer of the bubble. So if you had fun playing with bubbles today, be sure to like this video, and thanks a lot.